Hey there, everybody. This is Pancho, and this is Pancho versus VapourDrops. Really excited for this match, and I hope you enjoy it. Well, I start off with the Gengar, and he sends out his Sleepyhead. He goes for the Thunder Wave, which gets me, and then I go next for the Hypnosis, and I miss, which sucks. But then he goes for the Thunder Wave again, which I guess he thought I was gonna switch or something, but I don't. And I go for the Hypnosis again, and I hit it this time, which is great. And because now he's asleep and he can't do none of his gay sleepy head stuff. I'm just joking, Vapor. Well, anyways, he withdraws his sleepy head and sends out his Bodmon, and I hit it with a Shadow Ball. And Shadow Ball doesn't do as much damage as I hope, but it still gets some damage in. Then I should have switched. I forgot I should have switched here. I really should have, but I was hoping I can get it Hypnosis, but he goes for the Pursue, and I thought I was gonna get KO'd right there, but I didn't. But then I get the Parahex, which really sucks because now it just turned my Gengar into a death fodder. He goes for Pursue again, obviously, and knocks and gets the easy knockout. Next, I send out my shiny Cacturn, or how Van me call it. I think it's either Van or King. I don't know. So one of them calls it Pancha, which is a great name. I wish I could nickname that. Anyways, I go for he withdraws his Bonmon and sends out his Sleepyhead again, and I go for the Sucker Punch, not expecting that switch, and fails. But then I know he won't. I predict he won't wake up, so I go for the Spikes, and I think I end up. Then this time he doesn't wake up once again, so I go for the Needle Arm, not expecting for him not to wake up or attack. Then I recall a Cacturn, I believe. Yeah, I return my Cacturn and send out my Perpsy, which I know everyone loves so very much. I go for the Thunderbolt, which I should have gone for Surf, but I wasn't sure how much damage I'd get in because this is only the second time I have faced the Uxie, so I got the Thunderbolt, but it didn't really do much. And then he goes for the Trick, which helps me because he gets the Odd Incense and I get a Choice Scarf, and I use Surf on it, and it does a lot of damage actually, more than I thought. I thought it'd be do just as much as Thunderbolt, and I go for the Surf again and knock it out, and basically he just helped me there. I think next he sends out his he goes for the Electivire, and I really did expect him to go for an Earthquake, thinking that he would think I would switch out to a Rock type or a Ground type, but he doesn't, and I try to use a different move besides Surf and doesn't let me, and I go for the Surf, which does a lot of damage. I really liked how much damage it did, even though it wasn't much. He goes to the Thunder Punch and KOs my Perpsy, which it sucks, but at least I got the damage in. Anyways, now I send out my Cacturn again, and I turn his Electivire into Death Fodder, as you'll see, because now I know he will attack with something. I'm not sure with what, but I know he will go for the attack, and I go for the Sucker Punch, and I knock it out. But I do have to learn not to rely on Sucker Punch so much because, as you'll see, it can be the death of me. Well, he sends out his Forward Parrot, and I shouldn't have done so many Sucker Punches because I didn't think he'd suspect it. I'd suspect I'd go for so much, but he did, and he goes for the Spikes. I go for the Sucker Punch, and I fail again. He goes for the Spikes again, sending in his second layer. Then I go for the Sucker Punch again, and I'm guessing that I'm the sucker. Anyways, he goes for another Spikes, which he's got all three layers now. And he goes for the Spikes again. I have no idea why, but he fails, and I go for another spikes. Oh, my second layer of spikes, and now he goes for Brave Bird, which KOs me and really sucks because I'm not sure if I had one more sucker punch left, which I should have done if I did, but if I didn't, then it was just a death fodder waiting to happen. Well, he takes out my Cacturn with that, and I send out my Sparks this time, which I wish had a could would have hit him higher with my next move because it kind of comes back to haunt me a bit. Anyways, I go for the Volt Tackle, which gets him into the red HP, but it doesn't knock him out. I get the recoil, and then he goes for a Whirlwind, which I didn't expect, and he gets that spikes layers damage, which also comes back to haunt me later on in the match. Then he didn't expect my boss to be faster than this Vapour, which surprised him, and I go for the Stealth Rock, and he goes for Whirlwind again and gets even more damage onto my Sparks, and I end up using Volt Tackle because it's the only actual electric attack that I have on it, besides a Thunder Wave, which doesn't do much though. And I take it out, but I get the recoil damage, and basically turning my Sparks into a death fodder to any faster Pokemon. And he sends out his Bodmon again, which I know one way or another is gonna, if I'm not faster, then it's gonna take out my Sparks. And I go for a Volt Tackle because I'm pretty sure I was gonna die anyways. But he goes for the Ice Shard, and he's faster than me, so he knocks out my Sparks. Well, I sent out my I bring back out Boss, and it gets it down, and the spikes alone gets it into the yellow bar. Well, which really sucks for me because it really affects the whole battle having those 3 layers of spikes. He goes for the Ice Shard, which does quite a bit of damage, but it doesn't put me into the red bar. I go for the Earthquake to get the quick KO, and he sends out his Dark Matter, which really sucks for me because I was thinking of switching, but I didn't want to because I knew that I would get hit by the spikes, which after the battle I wish I would have though, because it could have gone a whole different way, but it was too late for that. So he goes for the Surf, showing I'm not faster than his Dark Matter, KOs my boss, and I'm down to one Pokemon to his 2. I send out my trusty Gallade, which he's my last Pokemon, which kind of sucks because I didn't think he could take both of his. Well, he goes for the Surf again, gets me down to the yellow bar. I go for Cycle Cut. I wish I could have got a crit, but I don't get the crit, and I leave him in the red bar. He goes for another Surf, which at the time I was paying attention to my HP bar, so I thought I had been knocked out, but I hadn't. So I get that one final Cycle Cut in and take out his Dark Matter, but it won't really matter in the end because I don't think anyone's Gallade at 56 HP can stand up to a Heatran. So we're down 1-1, and I go for, I forgot what move I went for. I think I just went ahead with the Close Combat or Cycle Cut, and then he uses Flamethrower and knocks out my Gallade, and that was game. Thanks Vapour for the great match, and hopefully you all